Welcome to the First Down Legacy Podcast, your gateway to the exciting world of multifamily real estate investing. If you're eager to discover the strategies, insights, and success stories that will take your investment game to the next level, you've come to the right place. In each episode, we delve deep into the multifamily investing arena, sharing expert advice, interviews with industry leaders, and valuable tips to help you build your own legacy through multifamily real estate. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our podcast is your playbook for scoring big in the world of multifamily investing. Join us as we explore the ins and outs of multifamily properties, uncover the latest market trends, and learn from those who have already achieved remarkable success in this dynamic field. Get ready to huddle up and tackle multifamily investing like a pro. This is the First Down Legacy Podcast, where your journey towards financial prosperity begins. Let's get started. Welcome to the First Down Legacy Podcast. It's an honor to have you. I look forward to connecting, with current and retired athletes like yourself that are now in the multifamily space, right? Moving into real estate investors. It's a huge deal. Um, Welcome. So,
Oh yes, appreciate Matt. Definitely good to be here. Looking forward to it.
yeah, it's great, man. Can you give us a little bit about your background? You did talk about, you were out in South Carolina for college, right? And you played some time in the NFL. Can you talk a little bit about your experience there?
Yeah, so originally from Louisiana, right outside New Orleans area. Third of eight kids. So I will
Wow.
say, growing up was stressful. You got to fight for your food and everything. But no, it was a
Right.
great time. Enjoy and definitely enjoyed my family. I went on to play college at Wofford College in South Carolina. Played college football there and majored in physics and math. So basically, it was full time football. I tell people college, the physics was my 9 to 5, football my 5 to 9, and there was no other time left. So definitely a lot of discipline, a lot of time management went into that. Had a lot of great success on the field. Was an All American, ended up being a Hall of Fame inductee as well, and played with the Chargers, the LA Chargers, when they were in San Diego right before they moved. Played
Okay.
a couple years with them, and had a great time until it was just one day, one game, one play, one move where I end up blowing out my ACL and meniscus against the Cowboys, America's team,
Right.
and it was from that moment on, I really had to kind of figure out what was next. Things were definitely uncertain.
Correct.
I rehabbed and end up getting released. After that, I did a short period in Canada in the CFL with the Edmonton Elks,
Okay.
and from there, I was I was supposed to go back to Canada. I had another team that was interested, but I kind of was faced with a decision, like, do I want to pursue the football track and football career, or
Hmm.
do I want to just move on with the rest of my life, move on with my post football career? And
Right.
one thing I always tell youngsters and athletes and people that's in high school level, college level, there are a million ways to make $1 million. Okay,
Okay.
you don't have to stick to the sports or entertainment, being a rapper, being an athlete,
Yeah.
so forth. There's You look at the wealthiest people in the world, they aren't rappers and athletes. They are business people, businessmen and businesswomen.
Yep.
So that is where your core needs to be at, how to handle your business. So for me, it was after that time period in the CFL. I figured I just need to go focus on engineering, focus on my post football career. I went get my master's at San Diego State in mechanical engineering and worked as an aerospace engineer for several Fortune 100 companies,
Amazing.
and investing in real estate at the same time until real estate took off and I didn't have to work W-2 a job
Right.
anymore.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's bring it back just a little bit. You did talk about, an injury that you suffered, right? The ACL and the meniscus, which is very common among athletes, right? Something that happens. Let's talk about the resilience, man, and like the mental aspect side of things that it took to re-identify yourself, right? Because I'm sure it took a huge hit to the ego, and you had to rebuild yourself, and And you talk about going back to school after you were done with football. Can you talk a little bit about the mindset, that it takes to achieve such a great thing there?
Yeah, I mean, the one crazy thing about a major injury, especially when you're having surgery, the rehab is harder than the surgery or anything else before, that because
Okay.
that's a extenuous process, 3 months, 6 months, even a year, depending on the
Yeah,
injury. So, you figure day in and day out, you're trying to get your mobility back, trying to get your strength back, trying to get your balance and everything else to be a high performer, a top 0.1% performer back to where I used to be. And the mindset, the mindset is crazy because you're taking the small steps every single day over an extended period of time to really get back to where you were. And it's a struggle to some degree
of
where
course.
if you want to be right here right now, you don't want to be on working on all cylinders, performing on all cylinders right now, but in my case, my knee was like, hold on, player, calm down. So so just going through that process was a process.
Right.
And but like you said, the resiliency, the mindset, you just got to be forward thinking. You got to be result driven to where, okay, I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And as I work through this, in a lot of cases, for athletes like Adrian Peterson, for example, he tore his ACL. He ended up having the best season
Absolutely. Yep.
after his ACL touch, just because he was so focused in on making sure he was in the best shape possible, because that's all he was doing every single day.
Yep.
Uh, you know, Fortunately for him, he was already a star player, right? For someone like myself that is on the tail end of the roster, um, I had a little bit more to overcome. But life doesn't stop there. Like I
That's
said,
great
there's
achievement.
a million ways to make a living in the world. So I just found my way elsewhere, just outside of football.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you played a little bit of linebacker, right? You played
Yeah,
Mike linebacker?
I played linebacker. So in college, I played outside linebacker, both the Will and the Sam, the weak and strong side, and then
Okay.
in the with the Chargers, I played inside. I played
Okay.
inside linebacker.
Amazing. I'm actually a Chargers fan today. So when I saw the opportunity to jump on a call with you, man, I was really excited, to hear more about the insides, of what it takes of the ins and outs of the day-to-day trenches. I actually played college football myself. I was able to get a scholarship and go out to Shattering State out in Nebraska, and I played Mike linebacker myself. So I know a little bit
Nice.
of what it takes to overcome because I'm only 5'9", but weighed about 190, 195 during college. So I was one of the smaller guys. So I had to use a lot of IQ, right, and a lot of
Yeah,
mental game in order to be successful. Um, but again,
for
that
sure.
you talk about forward thinking. So when such tragedy happened, you didn't let that tear you down. I'm sure there was moments there where you had a little bit of self doubt. You know, but that happens in every athlete, right? Because
Right.
we want to be there, we want to be able to perform and be at the highest level. Um, but yeah, man, being able to come out and continue to get your master's degree in aerospace engineering, that's amazing work. I'm currently an aircraft mechanic myself, and
Nice.
yeah, I don't see that as being the long term my end game. So I'm finally arranging I guess my funds, my different pools and things like that in order to become a real estate investor. So, can you talk a little bit about your introduction into real estate?
Yeah, so I initially was introduced to real estate as a kid. My parents have a portfolio of properties in Louisiana, where I'm from. They have double digits, 20 plus properties. And growing up, I seen from when I was born, when I was younger, my parents didn't have any property at all. And over the 25 years of me growing up, I seen them go from zero to having built a portfolio that they can live off of. So for me, I was involved in the asset management, the property management, of
Okay.
going help my dad work on different maintenance aspects. maintenance aspects of the property. And one second,
No worries,
excuse me,
no worries.
you get a sip real quick.
That's all right, brother. It'll be edited out anyway.
That works. So I seen my dad build up his portfolio, and I was involved in the asset management, the property management, working on the AC and going fix different things. So that was my first real introduction to the real estate investing game. And I'm seeing people coming and dropping off money and checks. I'm like, hey, what I need to do to have people who drop off some checks and money to me.
Yeah,
So from that point, I really knew real estate was definitely something I wanted to be involved in. Uh, and as I grew along, moved along in my career, I wish I would have got started when I was still an active player, but I was so focused on the game, which a lot of
correct.
athletes are. When you plan on that level, 110% of your focus is being the best athlete you can be. So that's why
Yes,
you need to have people around you that can focus on the investment side to make sure your funds grow and you create that passive income. So for me, after I started working in engineering, I'm like, okay, I need to invest, buy some properties, be the lord of my land, create some income. There are 7 ways you can actually make money within real estate. So as I started building that and it started superseding my engineering income, it was a no brainer just to focus on real estate at that point.
full time.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. You talked about, you having your parents as a role model, as an introduction into the real estate world. But you did say you wish you would have had that correct team around you while you were an active player, man. Can you talk a little bit about how important that is, man? Is having you know, just business-minded people, forward-thinking people around you instead of yes men during that time.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. I mean the saying goes, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, right? and and now going back, I'm looking at just studying because I'm a student of the game, right? I'm a lifelong learner now, looking at different people like Martin Luther King and whoever you want to name. They all had a great team around them, and I see now how important that is. That's why I do a lot of masterminds, meetups, networking, just to just to be around other high performers, people that's making moves in the industry. And it allows you, for one, to not get so high on yourself, not get too cocky, because you hang
Okay.
around people that's not doing anything, and you being a professional athlete or you accomplishing a lot, and they praising you, and it starts to make you feel, like
Yeah.
get big headed,
Untouchable.
basically. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing the thing, what I'm saying? I know I'm unstoppable. And then you go to a different room, a different crowd where, okay, you make a $1 million, you make $10 million, that's fine. My man over here got 100, he got 100 million. He got 5 billion over here, you know,
Yeah.
and it starts to humble you. Like, okay, yeah, I need to get back into the grind to really propel myself forward, and whatever it is, that money is just one aspect, but there's plenty other concepts that you can apply this to. And I would say having one, people that will challenge you, people that will encourage you, people that will hold you accountable, people that will keep you on the straight and narrow. Like you mentioned, you're not just say yes to every single thing that you suggest. So those types of people you definitely need in your inner circle in order to propel yourself and your family and your circle and your community forward.
Amazing. Amazing insight there, brother. It's important to build that team up, and I'm currently on that same journey right now, right? So I'm fairly new to the multifamily space as early as this year, man. So I'm using this instrument here, this platform here, to connect with individuals like yourself, and wanting to connect with current players as well, to open their eyes up of life after football, right? Of the
Right.
possibilities of becoming businessmen, successful business men and women. Um, so when you began investing in the real estate world, what was your current investment strategy? Did you follow a model that your parents did? Were you focused on residential? Did you tap instantly go into duplexes, fourplexes? How was that initial? investment strategy for you?
Yeah. So I mean, initially, I just wanted to get anything, and I live in Southern California, so in Los Angeles. So as we know, California real estate is expensive compared to the rest of the world. So for me, my first two properties were single families, but I was creative in the income, so I made it co-living. So that I used a multifamily implementation
Okay.
tactic, but the actual the property itself was a single family. So I was just renting out each room. So even I'm able to double the income I would have otherwise made from the property. And even if one person leaves, I'm not stuck at 100% vacancy, right, with no income.
Yep.
Whereas if I would just rented the whole place out, one family leaves, then I have no income. If one person
Correct.
leaves in a 5 bedroom property, I still got 80% of the income being produced.
Right.
So, that mitigated my risk tremendously. And to be honest, those two properties are what created enough income to supplement my engineering income. Because
Yeah.
it didn't take a lot. A lot of people think you need 100
Wow.
houses. All it takes is maybe 2 to 5 properties, and you can easily cross 6 figures into
Let's
approaching
go.
approaching 7 figures. So from there, it really was okay. How can I really put some fire, add some fuel to the fire? And that was when a lot of networking components came in, the masterminds and meetups, and going to where I got a 42 unit. We closed on that one about 4 months ago, and then just closed today actually on an 8 unit in Hollywood.
Congratulations. Oh
So
yeah.
appreciate. So, and that's been all from networking. So you can go a lot further, as the saying goes. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's been my focus the past 12 months, and it has helped tremendously. As you mentioned, that the core people around you, that they will either move you forward, push you forward in life, or hold you back. So make sure you're hanging around people that's pushing you forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's something I had to come to terms with, man, when I first introduced this concept to, family and friends. I just experienced so much resistance, just initial resistance, like uh and I had to break out of that because it's like, hey, I'm trying to go somewhere where you've never been before. So me trying to
Right.
convince you, that this is something possible, it's
Hey,
impossible to convince
you're
them.
pointless.
Yeah, man. So this is again, the reason to joining Raise Masters and things like that because I'm also part of a firm, a mergers and acquisition group. So I source through deals pretty much all week, and I run the numbers, do quick underwrites to see if it's a good investment or not, and I send that over to my disposition team, and they decide whether it's a good investment or not as far as finding the prospective buyer for that.
Hmm.
But again, if I'm able to build up my own buyers list, now I have even more traction on these deals that I'm actually funneling through. Um, but that's amazing, man. Uh, let's talk a little bit about, you talked those two houses, right? Those two houses you were able to use a multifamily type of method there, but it wasn't like one day to the next. Of course, you were still an
Yeah.
aerospace engineer. Um, let's talk about the time frame there, right? You said that you were able to build enough capital to again surpass your aerospace career. What does that time frame look like from acquiring the two houses to now being able to follow, even further portfolio?
Yeah, so the I got a 5 bedroom was the first property. Got that one stabilized that over maybe 3 months or so, because I did the renovations and getting the tenants and everything into there, and that one produces over 5,000 a month. And then it was it was a year and a half later when I got the second property. And that one was a 5 bedroom, and again, turn around maybe a few months to get it renovated, starting getting tenants in, and getting it stabilized. And that one produced over 6,500 a month. So, now you're looking at collectively almost $12,000,
A month.
and
Yep.
over a year's time frame, you're looking at close to almost 150, 150,000. Which you look how many professionals in general make $150,000 a year.
Correct.
Not many. Even that's more like a managerial or
Yep.
a high level engineer making 150 to 200,000. And that was just those two properties all within a year and a half time frame. uh so
Amazing.
going to the commercial side, the 42 unit and the 8 unit and all these other things, that's just the same what I've been doing times 10. you know so it,
Of
it, it
course.
didn't it didn't it didn't really take long. I will say that I was investing like 80% of my income though. So I was living off of 20%.
Of course. That's
And
what you got to do.
everything else I'm just dumping into how can I pull this money to get into the next investment, and so on and so forth. So, I would definitely say initially you want to maximize your income. If you're working as a W-2 in whatever type of role, how can you gain some type of quick skill, or how can you gain some type of knowledge to where you can maximize your W-2 income? So for me, I went from making 100,000 to 150,000 just by switching jobs, switching careers. So, and that provided a lot more fuel to the fire that I can use now and to get the properties and create more passive income, right? So a lot of times, people they try to put money in the stock market, they may get them 5% net after all of their expenses and inflation and fees and things of that sort. When really, instead of you worrying about getting 5%, you can gain some knowledge or gain some skill and get a 50% return, like I did when I switched jobs. So,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'll take 50%
Over
return over
five. Yeah.
5% return every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Of course. So,
Excuse the interruption, but I have a very important message for each and every one of you. If you've made it through the video this far, it could only mean that you are ready to take your multifamily career to the next level. If you book a call with me in the link below, I can show you step by step on how I've been able to create passive income, build a legacy I've always wanted, and turn my dreams into a reality. Book a call with me now, and I too can show you how to align your purpose through multifamily investing. Let's go.
so with your current properties now, you've built the correct team around you, right? What kind of methods did you use to acquire that 48 unit? Was that a syndication method? Did you just joint venture with somebody else in order to tackle this down? You talk a little bit more about, your current structure there.
Yeah, so on that one, it's a syndication structure. It was well, it was 3 million that we purchased it for, and then we raised like 1.15 million of that amongst 14 investors. So about 83,000 average per investor. And for that one, we have great boots on the ground. We have partners that is local to the market where the property is at, and one of the partners is actually the property manager. So, we have property manager that's invested in the performance of the deal
Of
as
course.
well. So, just different implementations and strategies like that to maximize the project and the asset. So, that is on the 42 unit. For the other 8 unit
42.
that
Yep.
was just closed on, I just closed on now. That's a JV
A JV.
strategy
Yep.
on that one.
All right, and what does that look like, right? You said it was 8 unit, so it's obviously a lot smaller. So there's no property manager. Is this is something that you personally and you and your partner personally are gonna asset manage?
Yeah, yeah, we're local to it. It's right here in LA, and it's a smaller, but it's still. So the crazy part is the ARV on it. Once we get it fixed, is going to be 3.1 million.
Wow.
So it's and we got it at less than half the that. So, you look at that's a lot of upside and equity potential that we can then use that to go invest in the next deal, or, keep on growing the portfolio from there. So it's building blocks, like Lego blocks. You got to make sure you stabilize this and then get the next one, get the next one. You keep on growing from there.
Yeah, man. But it sounds like, you've been very busy and very successful, as far as lighting up your ducks, right? And knocking them down. Um, yeah, man. So like when you look at the markets, right? Um, the 42 unit, is that here in California as well?
No, so that one is in Nebraska.
In
Out,
Nebraska.
yeah, it's in Omaha. It's in Omaha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of market trends or market cycles were you looking at when that opportunity came across your lap?
Yeah, so the Midwest has been we're very, very much so I'm very much so bullish on the Midwest, along with my partners in that deal. Look at the job growth, the population growth, economic growth, and also economic diversity as well. They're all trending above the national average. So you look at when you see metrics like that, obviously that's a sign. You want to ride that wave as it increases, because as a result, property appreciation going to be up, the rent increase is going to be up, the is going to follow that same trend. So different metrics like that, when we see those in place, it's simply a matter of finding a great deal to where now we can implement our value add strategy and maximize the growth, be a part of that maximized growth as we implement and hold the property as well. So I mean, we're to give you an idea, we calculated for our underwriting for our year 3 rent projections. We're already hitting those in month 4.
Wow.
So our year 3 rent projections we're already hitting in month 4. So that just to give you, we obviously underwrite conservatively, but the how much growth the market and our team has been able to add to the project just shows in something like that. So we're just looking to continue and definitely looking forward to seeing things grow.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. That speaks to the partners in place, right? You talk about underwriting conservatively. Um, is that is that just, running the numbers with like a 10% vacancy, just to make sure that things still add up?
Yeah, yeah, your standard 10% vacancy, your standard 3% inflation, probably 2 to 3% rent increases. The underlying conservative underwriting metrics. But obviously, if you're able to get a 5% rent increase,
Yeah,
then that's when you're able to get those great returns, right?
correct.
So,
Yeah,
the underwriting is the beginning just to make sure you don't lose, but the strategy implementation is how you make sure you win. So, it's two sides to the offense and the defense. Going back to
for
the
sure.
sports, you wanna have great offense and great defense, and then you get a great deal, and
Yeah.
everybody wins.
There you go. That's amazing terminology there. So just bringing it back a little bit, you talked about how clearly you were able to make about 150, surpassing your 100. And you talked about investing in yourself and going to learn a high valuable skill. Uh, what is that superpower for you? Are you a spokesperson? Underwriting. You know, is underwriting your area. I know you talked a little bit about learning the asset management side of things from your parents. Well, what would you say your superpower is today?
So for me, I would say definitely, for one, is just the networking component, talking to people, I'm involved in several, I'm on the board of several different organizations and groups. So the NFLPA is one out here in Southern California, on the vice president for the board, on the board, and then also executive board member in NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, as well as a board member in the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated out in LA, the Phi Beta Beta chapter.
Okay,
So I'm highly involved always. I mean, just for Thanksgiving, did a turkey giveaway at SoFi Stadium with a bunch of different organizations in the community. The
okay,
Rams and Chargers were there, some players, and the mayor for Inglewood was there. So just being involved and connected. Of course, the engineering background, being good with numbers. So I do some always do my own underwriting as well. And then from there, just finding the right people, the right teams, team players to implement. Because obviously you want to partner with people that's complementary to your skills, so that you're not everybody not doing the same one thing.
Right.
But when everybody can do their individual role at their expertise, that's really where you win. Some people they want to do everything, but they're not good at everything. That's the downfall for like a lot of the mom and pops. They want to do everything, whereas if they just stick to their genius area and partner with other people that have their
Yeah.
own genius area, now you got everything operating at 100% max capacity, as opposed to being 80 over here, maybe 20 right here, and 30 on this area.
Yeah.
You see the difference of everything operating at 100. You can get that much further along.
Correct. Okay, Alvin. Yeah, man. I definitely agree with that, right? Because me myself, when I first was introduced into this multifamily space, I didn't know what role to pursue, or what would be my value add into a partnership with other groups. So I am sticking to the underwriting side of things, because if I'm able to explain those numbers, for example, like on a pitch, on an investment webinar, things like that. Uh, the more confidence I have in those numbers, the more reason I'll be able to explain that. Um, where those downfalls are. Um,
Yeah.
but again, learning through the Raise Masters module uh, is really having those systems set in place. At what point were you able to make that transition to start having those funnels, right? Having those automation systems to where now the investors are coming in and finding you instead of you, scattering to find them.
Yeah, so I do on my website. I have different ebooks that are available. One is for nutrition, exercise, and wealth, the mindset thinking, and then another one is for the passive real estate investing. Different questions and roles and different things you need to be mindful of as a passive investor. So just working with people, delegating. Obviously, as mentioned, we said you got to have the right partnerships. So I went and hired people that will put together my campaigns, put together the ebooks and things of that sort on the website. And then as I go out and meet people at different events, I'm always able to direct them to my website to, hey, check out this ebook. You'll learn a lot of great, valuable information. And once they read through that, they have a foundational understanding. Set up a call and just pick their brain. What they're looking for, what they're interested in. What are their goals? Where they're trying to go, and how best I can help serve. Because at the end of the day, where it's a people business. It's you have to be able to serve the people and help them get to where they're going, and as a result, you will get some benefit from that. So I always think of it from a like a wealthy and non-wealthy standpoint. A lot of wealthy people, they're always looking to serve the masses, whether it be through setting up an online shop or getting groceries to them. You look at Amazon or Walmart or all these other big corporations. They're structured to serve the masses, whereas a lot of people that aren't as wealthy, they're always thinking about, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get?
Yeah,
And they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
helping anybody. And as a result, they're not able to get ahead and uh, get paid for any of the value they're providing, because they're not bringing much of any value. So, the more value you can bring, the more you can reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, okay, of course. I like how you use those bigger corporations, right? Amazon, Walmart, and how they're able to be more convenient to the masses. Uh, that's a great example there, as far as being able to serve others than yourself. Um,
Right.
yeah, perfect put there. Um, so a little bit before we wrap things up, man, I want to talk about the personal growth and learning here. So you were fortunate to, of course, have a 4-year degree at the college level, right? You became a star, in the NFL, with the San Diego Chargers. Is an amazing accomplishment there. But for a regular Joe. like myself and many others, what kind of personal growth and development, um, can you suggest, or would you like, uh, you know, yeah, what kind of personal growth there would you suggest for an average Joe?
So there's two things I always say to maximize your opportunity, maximize your growth, and maximize your potential in life that you need to work on every single day. Two things is very simple. One is your knowledge, and two is your network. So when for one, your knowledge, understanding that the true wealthy people or the true impactful people, influential people in the world, they they know something, or they're put in different positions that a lot of other people, they don't know, and they don't put themselves in position, right? So for me, I'm always reading books. I'm always going to YouTube University, looking at different videos that I can learn something from. Always just exploring different ideas, because I've learned a lot more outside of school than I have inside of school. You don't necessarily need to have a doctor's degree and all this other stuff. The saying is, you a formal education will make you a living, but a self education will make you a fortune, because that really what separates the haves and the have nots, what they
Okay,
do outside of school, right? So that's the foundation. I would say always, every single day, learn something somewhere. And then second is your network. Going to, we mentioned we're in the mastermind of Raise Masters. I'll also go to meetups, conferences, any group that's getting together, that are go-getters, that are high performers, that are investors, that's doing anything progressive. I want to be there and just see what's going on. Shake hands, meet people, check out what other strategies and tactics people are using, and how can those apply to me, or even from a collaboration standpoint. That's how
correct.
I met my partners on the last two deals I've done. One was through a mastermind, and one was through a meetup. So you also meet people that are great partners and great connections, and then over a month or 6 months or even a year plus time, I got this opportunity. You give it to them, they like it. Now, next thing you know, your partner's on a deal. So, those two things is what any and everybody can work on, regardless of your upbringing, regardless of if you're a celebrity or you made it to a professional level or anything. Regardless of what you got going on, you can always expand your knowledge and your network to make the most of your opportunities.
Amazing. You've heard it here first from Mr. Alvin Scioneaux. Your knowledge and your network, man. Those are two things that could lead you to profound success. Mr. Alvin,
Yes.
once again, man, it was an honor to have you here on the First Down Legacy podcast. I look forward to connecting with you. We're somewhere, somewhere where they can find you on your socials.
Yes, I'm on all social media. You can search Alvin Ciano, or the number one Ciano, my last name. So that's the number one Cioneaux. I'm on all social media. You can connect with me, follow me, and send me a message on there. You can also go to my website, financialathletecapital.com. On there, you will find a lot of the resources with the ebooks, and some projects that we have, opportunities we have going on. You can also go to Imperium Fortune, Imperium Fortune.com. And on that website, you'll find, well, myself and my wife. She's an attorney. She focuses on the asset protection, estate planning, business documentation aspect. So, I do the asset growth specifically through real estate, and she focuses on the asset protection through the legal and documentation side. So when both together, you solidify, you good to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Talk about
So
the dynamic duo there, huh?
dynamic duo. So definitely connect, reach out, and then we can make sure you're on a straight path forward to where you want to go to reach your goals.
Yes, sir. First Down Legacy podcast. You hear it here first. I'm gonna stop recording now. Let me see. Let me get a. There you go. Stop recording. Okay. Alvin, man, great podcast here, man. It's It's a great insight on learning about your upcoming, right,
I
from a
think it's
former
still
football
recording
player.
though on my end. It says,
Is it? No, it stopped. It stopped here. It says recording transcribe. Yeah, it stopped recording.
okay.
Oh, you're right.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the First Down Legacy Podcast. We hope you've gained valuable insights and inspiration for your multifamily investing journey. Remember, your legacy in multifamily investing is within reach. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your success story. We look forward to having you back with us for more game-changing strategies and stories in the multifamily investing world. Until then, keep the momentum going and keep building that legacy. This is the First Down Legacy Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.